Hello, my name is Alex Korekis, and I want to welcome you to my Finding Lost Civilization series. Today I'm in Big Sur, California, and I'm trekking along the coastline. And these places that I'm going to are basically inaccessible. I am climbing around trails that are off of cliff edges. But in my quest to find lost civilizations, I was able to find an ancient Rumsen Indian Midden site. And a Midden site is where the ancients were able to go into the ocean and pick up mussels, abalone, and all kinds of shell life. And then they brought them to shore and they processed them, okay? And then they left the shells there. And some of these mounds are hundreds, if not thousands of years old. And they run acres upon acres in some places. But I tell you what, this one place that I found is really fantastic. We're gonna look at a shell midden that is hundreds of years old and laying intact from the date of its last use. So this is really going to be an exciting day. So let's continue our journey and let me share with you what I found. Well, this is a view of the coastline that I've been trekking, and I tell you, in some spots, if I slipped, I would have fallen several hundred feet down. So it's precipitous and it's not for the light of heart. So anyways, let me show you this spot right over here. There's a cliff face right over here, but look at this mound over here. This mound over here is completely covered with shells. Look at this, okay? I mean, these shells are 10, 20 feet deep. So this site over here was used by the ancients for hundreds and hundreds of years. But let me show you something. See that black over there? That black is from smoke, because it was at this site, at the top of this site, where they cooked, okay, the abalone, the mussels, and the shells. Now for sure they processed some raw, but over here you'll be able to see where they actually processed them. Okay, look at this. Okay, we're coming up here. We're going to crest this hill, and you will not believe what I saw when I crested this hill. Look at that. Oh my God, look at that. Here, this site, these abalones are hundreds of years old, hundreds of years old. And look at this over here. You can see where the depression is. Here's where the fires were. You can see the blackening, okay? The blackening of the shell over here. Okay, they would heat the shell up. They would put it in a fire. And right over here, where the abalone was, okay, they would fry it, they would cook it. And look at the walls over here. These walls are black from smoke. That again is hundreds, if not thousands of years old. And look, it goes all the way up this cliff face over here. This is incredible. And you can see, look, the vast size of the scorching. You can tell how much has been processed here. Thousands and upon thousands of abalone shells to feed the people here, the ancients, for many years. And look, laying there, this is the site. But this site over here is a site that has been forgotten in time, and I am so happy to share this with you. So let's take another look at it. Again, you'll see this grand cliff face over here, scorched from the processing of the abalone. Here's where it was fired, here's where it was cooked, and the dry cooked meat taken inland to the villages. And right over here, this is a shell midden. And look at this, the majestic Pacific Ocean below us. At the time that the Rumsens lived here, sea life was abundant, okay? Well, I tell you, today has been a wonderful day of discovery. In many ways, I'm completely surprised. When I go on these treks, I have actually no idea of what I will encounter. And so when I do find something, it is such a joy. And I hope you've enjoyed this trek with me. And hopefully this little bit of knowledge, somehow or another, will help us in our present life or maybe in our future relations. And I think the most important thing about the Rumsen Indians, or the Costanos, the coastal people, the Ohlone people of this area, is the great question of what happened to them and why did so many of them perish. And if we find the answers, if we look at the answers, if we really try to seek the knowledge of what happened to these people, perhaps we can learn something and apply it in our relations, in our life, or maybe as a country with others. So, somewhat of a grand statement, but these are some of the things that I think about when I go out and trek in search of finding lost civilizations. So come on, let's continue our journey.